The day that peace is finally declared, the crowds will fill the public square. It's true, I swear, we're almost there. 'Cause there's a song we'll sing and singing in our hearts. There's a song we'll sing and to guide us through the dark. We could move a mountain. We could move a mountain. So if you have any hope that you could move a mountain, why don't you? No, I shouldn't say that. Even if you don't think you could move a mountain, why don't you sing along? We could move a mountain. We could move a mountain. We could move a mountain if we wanted to. If we wanted to. That's what we could do. We could move a mountain. That's what we could do. There's a cruel wind blowing all across this land. If you believe in justice, it's time to take a stand. Peace is our religion. The truth is in our hands. It's time to free the land. I know we can. 'Cause there's a song we're singing deep inside our souls. There's a song we'll sing and never let it go. Everybody right now. So one time, a long time ago, there was this farmer, and he lived at the bottom of a great big mountain. But the problem was his fields, his farm was on the other side of that mountain. So every morning he'd get up early and have an early breakfast, and he'd head off and he'd climb over top of that mountain, he'd go down and he'd work on the fields for the day, but he had to quit early because he had to climb the mountain again at the end of the day. And after a few years of this, he said, "This is nuts. Things would be a lot better if that mountain was over there. It wasn't here." So the next morning, he put his tablespoon in his back pocket. When he set out for the mountain, he took a tablespoon of dirt off of the mountain and he set it over on the other side. The next day, he got another tablespoon and another tablespoon, and 6 months had gone by and he had a little mound about that high. And the mountain was still as big as it ever was. But he kept at it. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. They came to call him the foolish farmer. That's what his nickname around town. Hey, what's the foolish farmer doing now? And pretty soon he was an old man. And the mountain, well, it was looking good. It was getting up there, but the mountain, it didn't look any smaller than it had at first. So finally, they stopped talking behind his back. Somebody went up to him and they said, "Hey, what the heck are you doing? You're never going to move this mountain. You're going to be dead soon. The mountain is still there." And the old foolish farmer said, "Yes, that's quite true. But when I die, my children will take that spoon, and they'll start moving that mountain every day. And then my children's children's children will do it. And my children's children's after I've been long dead and gone, after I've been forgotten, we'll have moved that mountain, and the world will be a better place. They didn't call him the foolish farmer anymore after that. Because there's a song we're singing deep inside our soul. There's a song we'll sing and never let it go. We could move a mountain. We could move a mountain. Oh, it sounds so beautiful. It sounds so nice. We could move a mountain. Let's keep going. We could move a mountain. We could move a mountain if we wanted to. That's what we could do. We could move a mountain. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for everything you've done in leading us and in leading the workshop to help us tell our stories, and to Kearney Learning Center, to the Kearney Community Center, and to the Heart of the City Festival. I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in my cab behind the American Hotel on, what's that street? Not Union Street. I can't remember the name of the street behind the Union anyway, behind the American. And I didn't really want to be there, but dispatch, I'd already turned the fare down once, and dispatch was a bit irritated. He said, you know, come on, car 74, are you going to pick up there, or do I have to give it to another company? And I could hear the irritation in his voice. I said, oh, okay, I'll take it. Back in those days, in the late 70s, you didn't want to pick up at the American Hotel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, never mind 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a bit of a biker, well, a lot of a biker bar, and a bit of a rough hangout. So anyway, so I go in, and there's 3 or 4 guys sitting around the table, and I look at them, I say, okay, you know, laptop caps here, and one guy looks at me, big guy, and says, about time you got here, I've been waiting long enough. Takes his, he's got about half a beer left, and downs it in one swig, and follows me out the door into the taxi. Now this is a really big guy, you know, full sleeve tattoos, and the tattoos weren't peace symbols and trees. So, death's heads with wigs, death's heads without wigs, and just, you know, all kinds of death's heads, and hangman's noose, and other encouraging symbols. So he gets in the cab and he says, I'm going to 4734 Union Street in Burnaby, and it's going to cost me $5.70, not a penny more, and I want you to drive down Union Street all the way. Union Street doesn't go all the way. So I go move ahead a little, half a block, and turn right on Pryor, and start heading towards Burnaby. And, you know, kind of look at him, start making conversation, you know, how you doing? You know, he says, shitty. He says, worst night ever in the bar. We had about 3 fights, and had to break them up and get guys out. And it was just one thing after another. And then the worst of all, he said, we had a couple of women get into a fight, you know, cat fights. I hate cat fights. You know, when guys are fighting, you can predict what's going to happen. He said they're going to punch you, or they're going to grab you and try to take you down, and you can anticipate what's going to happen. With women fighting, you don't know. If the 2 of them decide to turn on you, they're going to bite, they're going to scratch, they're going to pull your hair, they're going to kick, and you don't want to beat up a woman. You know, I mean, I'm a gentleman, I don't want to beat up a woman, but you know, what do you do? But finally, you know, with the help of the other bartender, the other bouncer, where I was there, you were able to calm them down and get them out of there. And then by this time, I'm at Victoria Drive, and at Victoria Drive, you can't go any further. You've got to turn left. So I'm can't go look at him in the eyes. I'm talking to him and telling him, well, I'm sorry you had a night like that. Turn left while I'm looking at him and hopefully he doesn't notice we're getting away from the straight street, and the meter's already up at about $3 or $3.20, and up to Hastings, and hang a right, hold his eye again as I turn right on Hastings Street, and carry on down Hastings, and by the time we get to the P&E, well, it's already about $4 on the fare. And so I keep asking him how his night went, and then he said, oh, then the worst thing that happened, even worse than the cat fight, a bunch of Nazi skinheads came in, and we had a punk rock band, and these skinheads decided they took a dislike to the punk rockers and started beating on them, so we had 5 or 6 different fights going on at the same time, and just messing the place up, knocking tables over, breaking glasses, and it took me and the 2 other bouncers and all the bartenders and the wait staff to stop this fight and get these guys the hell out of there and get the music going again. We had to clean the place up, and now by the time he's finished telling the story, I'm at Boundary Road, and I'm looking at the meter, and it's $5, and I think, oh, how am I going to get it to his place but $5.70? And what does $5.70 or else mean?
Yeah.
Felt a little hopeless. So, by the time I get to Willingdon, it's already $5.70, and his street is, the next major cross street is Holdham. So I get to there, turn right, and then a couple, 3 or 4 blocks down, left on Union and Burnaby, and I'm at the front of his house, and he looks at me and he says, better not be more than $5.70. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just charge him $5.70. And I thought, well, no, I'm working here, and I earned my money. And it's a hard job. And so I look at him and I said, well, I'm sorry, sir, but it's $6.30. And I could see his face kind of turning red, and he kind of shuffles around the seat. He glares at me, gives me a dirty look. And then he kind of sits back in the seat, relaxes a bit, and kind of reaches in his pocket, and reaches in his other pocket. He pulls out a $20 bill. And he gives me the 20 bill, and he says, thanks for being such a gentleman, keep the change.
She alluded to the fact that she had walked from, way back in the old days, 97, she had actually walked from Prince Rupert to Vancouver as a fundraiser for school programs, and she's in the process now. We're not writing a whole play about that, which has been performed in a workshop, and I think this is going to be a great piece of work when it's done. But today, Connolly is going to talk about a very special story about a family member of hers down here in the neighborhood. Again, this may be a little bit intense for some of us. If you're feeling any feelings about it or that sort of thing, don't keep them to yourselves. Make sure you follow up on them. But with no further ado, I will introduce Connolly. Oh, it's up behind you there, Connolly.
It's okay, I still want to do this.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
The only journey is the one within, by Rainer Maria Rilke.
Yeah.
Cool.
This piece here I'd like you to keep this quote in the back of your mind. It's called, this piece here is called My Beautiful Cousin Melissa. It was the spring of 2018 when I first got the call from a family member that my cousin Melissa was in a bad way. I was terrified as what I was in for, and once I got to the downtown east side, I was directed deep into the belly of a back alley between Pender and Hastings. The unmistakable stench of urine was quite evident. I had to hold my breath. And the place was infested with rats, scurrying here and scurrying there. And I see so many people hide. I hear rock, 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 downers, sides. And I shake my head no, not really knowing what I was saying no to. Inconspicuous names for hard drugs, I surmise. And then someone nudged me, "Hey, you looking for these?" And I'm looking at a brand new pair of designer jeans. And I'm like, no. And then, I'm directed further down the alley. And then midway down the alley of hell, there she was, barely recognizable, my cousin, and all I see before me is a bag of bones. My baby cousin was crouched down low, and it took considerable effort for her to just lift her head up and say something to me. And her voice was low and gruff. And I had to bend down, crouch down next to her. And I'm like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And she just shrugs her bony shoulders, And it took everything in me not to cry. And I took some pictures of her to send back home to loved ones. And as I looked what was left of my cousin, I was thinking about the last time I saw her, which was a year before that. She was beautiful, vibrant, and alive. Sure, she drank, Sure, she drank and was hanging around the downtown east side, but nothing what I see before me. She was an empty shell, lost and looking for her next high. After she reassured me that she was okay, which was a lie, I slowly turned and walked away. It took everything in me not to take her out of there. She was just 90 pounds. Take her out of there, carrying her over my shoulders, kicking and screaming. So I left. The long drive home, it was as if I was mourning her death. Over the next several months, I make seemingly endless trips back to the downtown east side just to make sure Melissa is alive. And then I ask myself, why? Why do I do this if she's not even willing to help herself? This one time I get brave and I ask Melissa, along with the pipes, the lighter, the needles, the smoke, the powder, the rock, I get brave and I ask her, "You know what my worst fear, cuz? You know what my worst fear is?" She says in her low, gruff voice, "What?" I tell her, "I'm going to come back here and I'm going to be looking for you. And they're going to tell me that you're gone. And you know, like any other awkward situation, she deflected from the question. And then she said in barely a whisper, "We all gotta die sometime." The long drive home, I cried like a baby. Days later, Melissa collapsed and died. And I wasn't there to save her. But luckily that happened in a public place, and there were there people to revive her. And I was like, my worst fear came true in what she told me. And I grabbed her, and I was hanging on to her as if I was willing to straight for her to fight for her life. I'm desperate to shower her with love and care and, you know, a hope for the future. I began to give updates on Facebook about her. And along with the updates, Melissa's daughter, Lauren, wrote a song about Melissa, about her mom's addiction that goes like this.
This is a song I wrote for my mom, Melissa Tom, and her addictions, and it's called Beautiful Mama. I wrote all of the lyrics to it, so... Lately I've been having lucid dreams of my mama dying in my dreams. How could this world be so cruel and mean? My mama used to be clean, now she grown to be mean to the ones near and dear. Now everyone says they can't trust her. God please bless her. Mama's been fighting demons since she's just a little queen, cause her mama always drink around her, leaving my mama alone with strangers. She was in distress, causing her to be depressed at a young age. I know, mama, you've been through hell and back, and it may have tainted your soul, but you can always strike back. My beautiful mama, you could no longer be strong and you gave into your addiction. Now you're roaming the streets, putting your day on repeat. Now you're refusing to eat. Beautiful mama, you lost touch with the outside world, so you're secluded on the streets looking for a new high. My beautiful mama, if you overdose, you know your time is close, leaving your kids exposed. And it breaks my fucking heart seeing you all skin and bones. Please come home, my beautiful mama.
This song was played for Melissa, and I think the first time in a long time there was tears. And I got Melissa to compose a little excerpt that she posted on my wall for everybody to see. And then it goes like this. This is Melissa. I go live right now, but my heart can't take it. I listened to Lauren's song. It rang true. I made the wrong choices and they're mine. I own it. I feel all your prayers. It's working. Patience is the virtue. Right now, I can't handle people telling me what to do. I will respond to the prayers by slowing down. I'm weaning myself off the drugs on my own. Thank you for the prayers and support. I do love you. I feel your love. Since Melissa's near-death experience, I've seen many baby steps. She started eating. She talked with her son on the phone. She even ventured outside the downtown east side, and that's huge. It's because she never did that in over a year. She was in that one back alley. And slowly but surely, I'm starting to see that spark in her as seen in her as a little girl, one full of love and laughter. My beautiful baby cuz. Rainer Maria Rilke's quote, "The only journey is the one within," echo deep within my mind, my heart, and my soul. With great certainty, I answered the question to my why. I help my beautiful baby cuz because maybe I see myself in her. Maybe not to the extent or the extreme of abusing drugs. But holding on to the emotional pain, keeping myself in a prison, living with the regrets that eat at my being, running away from the pain, and feelings of being forgotten. My beautiful baby cuz.
Thank you again, Ton and Lee. I think it's okay to share that we made some efforts to have Melissa come today, but
Was on our curriculum in school when we were very young. We had as part of our English class learning poems, and I love learning poems. So one interesting one I remember, interesting in more ways than one, it was called American Folk Song. And I've never yet met anybody in North America who's ever heard of that. But the one I think I probably loved the best was Abu Ben Adam. Abu Ben Adam made his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace, and saw within the moonlight of his room, making it rich and like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. Exceeding peace had made Ben Adam bold, and to the vision he said, "What writest thou?" The angel raised its head, and with a look made of all sweet accord, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." "And is mine one?" said Adam. The angel shook its head. Ben Adam spoke more low, but cheerily still, "Then write mine down as one who loves his fellow men." The angel wrote again and vanished. The next night, it came again, and with a look, oh no, that's wrong, came again, and showed the names whom love of God had blessed. And lo, Ben Adam's name led all the rest. Thank you.
fabulous right now. I'm so pleased that we were chosen everywhere, all across the city, and it's so great to welcome you to our stage. So thank you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Can I use this mic? Thank you. Oh, there. Oh, they both sound the same. I really struggled with which story I wanted to tell. I had a residential school story I called Infractions, but then a piece that I wrote for Unsettled was called The B Word. So I decided I'm going to do the B word. How many B words are out there? Put your hands up. Stephen. So I'd like to introduce myself. I am the B word.
Yeah.
You know, B-I-T-C-H. So I'm the elder resident. I am a mother, a grandmother. I went back to school at 40 years old. I got my GED. Then Garrett College, 4.26 GPA, and I hear it for me. I am a residential school survivor. I am a survivor of intergenerational abuse. But I'm still a nice person. And I'm still a B word. You know, it happens like this. So you're the new girl in the group. For me, I got back from California at 19 years old. And going into any situation, into a party, I'm the new girl. I automatically am the B word. Because what happens is, I'm the new girl, but the guys notice. I'm fun, I like to make people laugh. That makes me the B word. Or I'm the only native in a class. But I don't need any help. I have all the answers. The girl come on and help me, give me these looks. To her, I am the what? B word. You walk into any situation, the guys will go over at you a little bit. The girlfriends are like, she's a B word. You get the guy. And to all of these exes, who are you?
B word.
And then the other thing is you learn how to say no to a guy that you didn't know how to say no to before, that you didn't think he had the power to. But when he sees you, when he's with his friends, what does he call you?
B word.
The B word. So I got the guy, but I didn't know I got the guy. His sister wanted us to meet all year. So we finally meet at the AA dance, but it wasn't a big deal. But then he came back to town, and he asked me to dance. All the while what started happening was finally to orchestrate a story that I, Kat Norris, had slept with 4 different guys. What? What I did is I went to these 4 guys and their girlfriends and told them what was being said. They were cool, but I still felt like the fool. I felt like the B word. And I started to transform like the wolf wandering the earth, self-owned power. What she didn't care was that it hurt. What she didn't care was that people believed these stories. But what she didn't know was that I am a residential school survivor. I deal with lupus. I walk with numb feet. I don't feel well a lot of times. That I'm a survivor, that I'm a strong person.